Hello and welcome back to the Wavetable. I'm your host Trip Ware, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Sammy and Riley.
This is Sammy.
This is Riley.
Today we're going to be talking about aliens. Do you guys think aliens are real? What do you guys think?
I think so.
I think they exist.
Okay, why is that?
Pretty certain.
I mean, the universe is so, incomprehensibly huge that, what are the chances life isn't out there? It's
Okay.
more likely that there is an exact replica of us than life doesn't exist at all. That is how
Really?
huge the universe is.
There's a whole nother
I'm not saying there
humans out
is,
there?
but I'm saying that's a more likely option than life doesn't exist.
It's either... he's saying that the absolute unlikely scenario is more likely than the scenario where there's no living things out there.
Okay,
Like-
okay.
Because we have to be so unbelievably rare that there's just nothing.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I would agree with, just because of how vast space is, there has to be something else living. Not saying that they can contact us, but they exist. I'm pretty certain of it.
Okay. I would argue that it probably doesn't. I don't think that
Really?
aliens are real. Yeah, really.
What is your argument or evidence of that?
We still can't even figure out what life is. We don't know what life is. We just know that it's so incredibly complex that even though the human species has been fascinated with it for so long, we've been historically trying to figure out what life is and put meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so complex it can't be understood by anyone in the current or in the past. I feel like the series of events that have to happen to create sentient life like we are, or any life really, but especially sentient life, is so rare. It is such a series of crazy coincidences that led to us. And I feel like if we were to look for that anywhere, it would be a wild goose chase with no end.
So are you saying that you're certain that life does not exist? It's never happened before us?
I would say so, yeah. I would bet
In
it's
the
more
entire
likely...
universe.
I would say so, yeah. I would say that
Really?
it's more likely that we are the only life. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if I were to guess if there is or if there is not life outside of Earth, I would say that there is probably not life outside of Earth.
So what do you define, or do you have even a definition of life?
At its base level, life would be to describe something as living, it has to want to stay alive, and it has to have basic needs that it, actively pursues to keep it alive.
Mm-hmm. Just survival. Being able
Survival,
to
yeah.
survive on its own.
Yeah, it has to be able to survive for it to be alive,
Okay.
I would say.
Are you making the argument that there's no intelligent life, or there's just zero life?
I'm saying that there's probably zero.
Really?
It's even less likely that there's intelligent life, but
Yeah.
What about, bacteria?
I don't think that there's even bacteria out there, if I'm being completely honest. I'm highly doubtful of it.
So you don't think that life outside of Earth exists at all? Not even single-celled organisms like bacteria?
No, I don't think so. We don't know what life is. We've studied single-celled organisms for such a long time now at this point. We would have figured out what does it by now if... single-celled organisms are still so complex and so, rare.
That's true.
What do you mean when you say, we don't know what life is?
We haven't figured out what life is. We know that everything that makes up living things is made up of the same elements, the same molecular basics of everything that is also not alive. What's the difference? What makes something alive versus, not alive? What's the difference between me and just... Well, yeah, but what creates the need for that?
Systems.
Systems?
Well, I mean, single cell organisms have a desire and, like, they use energy. They have systems that use energy to keep them alive.
Okay, that makes sense, but what I'm getting at is, like, life, we only really understand life as a concept. We don't know what makes life.
Do we know what makes cells? I'm asking this as a genuine question. Like, I don't know the answer, because do we know what makes cells?
Do you mean, like, at the very start of life? Like, the beginning of life hypotheses?
I mean,
Or just, like,
Do you mean like physically what makes them, or?
how do those compounds come together?
yeah, like, how do cells form?
Well, cells form from other cells, but, like, at the very start, we don't know.
We don't know.
That's where
Yeah.
the uncertainty is. It's at the very start. Like, we can retrace our steps all the way back until that point. Like, that's where we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know how life started, but we know that it started. And we don't know, like, whether it was, like, it formed here, or, like, there was an external force, like, the components of life, of living things, could have come from, like, another planet, or, like,
planet.
an asteroid or something. That's what we're uncertain of, because we don't have proof of the formation of something that didn't exist yet. Like, there's no evidence of cells forming, so we'll never know. Like, or at least we don't know with our current knowledge.
Yeah.
Is this jumping ahead too far? Like, do you think, like, the end goal of every species is, like, to spread themselves out as far as
Reproduce.
possible, reproduce, go as far as possible, cover as many niches as possible, right? Do you think that, like, a species eventually got intelligent enough that maybe they couldn't, like, get themselves to other planets, but they figured out how to freeze, like, sperm cells, or, like, a way to reproduce
cells.
onto other planet,
Living matter.
living matter, like, without them physically going there, like, because if you think about it, if that happened, and, like, that life grew there, like, that would have been so long ago that that species, like, wouldn't even know that they would have no idea where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think something like that could have happened to us? Like, maybe we don't even originate from this planet. Maybe we came from somewhere else.
That's one of the main concepts regarding, like, the very start of life here. Like, we don't know. There's uncertainty, so it's like, is that possible? With the amount of time there is, of course that's possible. So you can't rule it out. Like I say, it's very possible to be like, yeah, that did happen. Because when you don't know the answer, it's like, you can just assume what you want to think. And if you want to think that, like, I fully support it. Like, it's a good theory.
Yeah, it's no more, I mean, in scientific terms, it's no more true or untrue than anything else we have, so. We have no evidence for any of it.
And if that is true, like, where is the place life originated from? How do we figure that out? And how do you think that actually... Because that still doesn't solve the problem of how life itself started.
Yeah.
That just means it came from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to figure out not only how life started, but the place it originated.
That would add so much complexity to figuring out what life is.
That's kind of why I'm bringing that up. Is it's like
It could lead back to the same theory that life can form on its own. Like, it could have formed here with the knowledge that it came from somewhere else.
That makes sense.
Like, the theory, it almost proves itself wrong, because it's like, if there was life that sent cells here to, like, reproduce and start life, like, how do we know it didn't just form on that planet? So it's like, did it start somewhere under that, like, assumption?
Yeah.
And I guess why I bring that up is like your whole why you believe life doesn't exist outside of Earth is like we don't know how it started, but like the real answer is like it's too complex to figure out how it started. Like there's so much that we don't know.
But there's also so much that we do know. Like we do know that cells formed, whether it was like on our planet or not, they formed. They exist. We know how they work. But just because we don't know like exactly when or where they started doesn't mean they don't like exist and we don't understand what they are.
Yeah. I would go back to Sammy's point and say that, I mean, it is complex. It's too complex for us to understand, and that's exactly my point. It has so many steps to it, and it needs so many specific things to happen from what we already do understand from how cells work. It needs so much to happen for life to function. It needs so much that I think that it's rare enough that we may be the only case. Or at the very least, the only case that we will ever see.
So you think it's still possible that there is life out there?
I'm not saying it's impossible, yeah. I don't think, I think it's unlikely that there's life out there. I would,
Really?
if I was to pick an absolute, I would say that there's probably not life out there. But, you know, it's not impossible.
What makes you say that it's less likely than more likely that there is life?
That,
Other life.
again, it goes back to how complex we are. Like, you can dive
there's-
infinitely deep into any part of any living thing.
Is it ego-driven to say that we're more complex than the universe itself and the vastness of it?
What would that even mean?
Is it ego-driven to think what we're looking at on this planet is way more complex than what's out there? Like, you don't understand what's out there, so it's easy to label it as, like, this unknown thing, like, this desolate void, but, like, you don't know. It's all just centered around where you were born. Like, here, we all have the same understanding of things, or at least a very similar understanding of things. And there's not, like, an objective, like, we are more complex than the things that came before us, or the things that we can't even observe. Like, you know, other galaxies. Like,
Okay.
what's to say that even in the closest galaxy, there's not alien life, we just can't observe it. Like, the closest possible galaxy.
I mean, there's nothing that we know of to say that there is or there isn't.
But
Which, I
with
mean,
the vastness of it, it's likelier than that. Like, it's likelier than unlikely that there is other life out there, just because of how massive it is.
okay, so are you saying that just because of how big the universe is and how many planets there are, that the chances of conditions like Earth, like it's more likely that there is another Earth-similar planet out there with the right conditions to do whatever made life here than not?
I'd say there's at least 100 million Earth-like conditions out there. Like, at the very least.
100 million is pretty small in the...
I said Earth-like conditions, so fitting our solar system, our place in the solar system, our temperatures, like our
Okay,
climate,
so
our materials,
our everything.
are everything.
So,
At
like,
the
almost
very
replica.
least, I think there's probably 100 million Earth-like conditions, and
Okay.
that's lowballing it. And it's like, it's just unfair to say that, like, no, we're the first. Like, this has never happened before. Anything like this has never happened. Like, I think that's just incredibly unlikely.
Okay.
I read somewhere that scientists have observed like 4,000 or something planets that are likely not only Earth-like, but like better than ours. Like some of them are better conditions for life than our planet.
Well, they can know the specifics of that, but stuff that they can observe, they can say that.
Yeah,
Like the
like that's why I
atmosphere.
said they observed.
Yeah. It's like observational bias, though. Like, it's an important part of it. But yes, you're right, and that's just what we can observe.
Okay. So you guys are starting to convince me. It does make more sense. Even so, even if life is out there, like if it's in the universe, what are the chances that we ever actually find it? Like you said, the universe is so massive. It's so huge. Even if there could even be intelligent life out there in this hypothetical situation. What if it is just so far away that we can just never reach it? What does it even matter? Like, should we even be looking for life?
And yeah, it's a good question. It's a great question.
I think
There's an exact name for that too. Like it's paradoxical, right? That there's so much space out there, but we haven't found a single trace of life. Like it's a true concept called the Fermi paradox, and that's a solution to it. Like it's so vast that what are the chances we even notice any evidence at all that there is life out there? So you're exactly right.
Okay. Do you guys think that we should be looking for life? Like, is that something that we should be looking for?
Sammy had something to say. Sorry, I kind of cut him off.
You kind of already said it. I was gonna say something along the lines of the Fermi paradox, but I think it's what I was also gonna say is I think it's more likely than not that like just how big the universe is the limiting factor between us reaching other life, and vice versa. I think it is still important for us to look for life because we have things like radio telescopes, like we read all the radio waves that like hit our planet that we observe, and we've already found stuff that like doesn't make sense,
Unexplainable things.
yeah, like the wow
To this
signal
day.
and stuff like that.
The wow signal?
Yeah, this is very like faint in my memory, but like it's basically this like very huge spike in like radio waves that like we observe that we have zero explanation for, if that makes any sense.
I think it's about like 50 years old that we picked it up, but there's still not a clear answer to like what it is. But there's like a very historic image of just like somebody just writing "wow," like marking the signal.
Yeah,
without
that's
an
why it's called the wow signal.
Without an explanation. It's really cool.
Okay. Okay. So,
But speaking off of that, like the point that I think it's just so vast that is it worth just sending out radio signals, like knowing that they've only reached like what 50 years out, 50 light years out, and it's like that's the limitation. Like
Some of them are older than that.
really,
Well, the oldest radio signals aren't like powerful enough to really break out of our solar system because like they degrade over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like some of the like as we started to improve our radio technology, like those signals go further and further out, and it's like probably the most likely thing that like that's the first trace we see of life is radio signals because of how far they reach out. Like that's the easiest thing to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably the first like far-reaching broadcast we've ever made was like Hitler's speech, which is kind of sad, but it's true.
reflective of what's on the planet. It's
Yeah.
insane.
it's a warning to aliens.
Yeah.
On that, like you said, is it worth trying to contact other species? What do you think?
I think no, just because the concept is scary. I mean, we see what we do to ourselves on our own planet. Like we're warring creatures by nature. Like we've done so much. Like we've done so much through war. With ourselves, we're amazing at destroying each other, all the time, over everything. Proven time and time again through history. If we're that brutal to ourselves, I mean, I can only imagine, the kind of brutality that would happen if there are similar species of alien out there. Like, the competition that drives us to war is the same kind of competition that drives us to advance things like technology, language, culture. That competition is what drives us to become a civilization that can reach out into the stars. If that is a criteria for becoming a spacefaring civilization, I don't want to reach out, because Lord knows what would happen if another one of us came to our planet.
I mean, think
Well,
about... Sorry. Think about, like, colonialism, but, like, on a galactic scale. Like, what if an alien civilization found us and, like, doesn't even care about us? Like, they just want the resources on our planet. Like, we're just a thing in their way. And, like, if they have the means to reach our planet, that means that they are, like, so much more technologically advanced than us that we don't even stand a chance against them.
Yeah.
I want to follow up by rewording my question. Do you think it's worth, not necessarily trying to reach and, like, physically be near and, like, meeting and trying to communicate with other species in person? I'm saying more or less, is it worth spending resources to try to communicate or find out whether there is other life? Not necessarily invade or, like, just simply, is it worth investing in trying to communicate or figure out if there is alien life?
I would say still probably not.
Why?
Just because the chances of them being near us are so low. It would be
But that
a waste.
chance goes directly in favor of your fear of war or conflict. They would never be able to reach us if they're that far. It would be like strictly communication.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that, because it's so unlikely that they're near us, it would, like, we're in this situation where it would be a waste of time and materials looking for something that we will never find. And on the infinitely small chance that there is one within our reach, that would be so much worse than not finding them.
You think so?
I do think so, because, like I said, if that competition is a factor in becoming a spacefaring civilization, I mean, if we found aliens and we thought that they were a threat to us, I would immediately be on the side of, oh, kill the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if there's a threat to us, to humans, to our planet and our culture and our everything, I would say eliminate the threat.
If there is a creature that is that intelligent to contact us, do you think they would put effort into trying to threaten us? Or would they put effort into trying to communicate with us?
There's no way to tell. It's aliens. Who knows? I mean, we're communicative creatures. I mean, we thrive on talking. You know, that's our thing, our language, our everything. We read each other, and that's how we survive. But that might not be exactly the case for aliens. You know, they might not be peaceful creatures.
So you're saying intelligent... There's probably intelligent life out there that wouldn't communicate with themselves?
Not necessarily.
Do you think they would have drastically different values to the point where they would
Yes. Yeah, the values would be different.
Mm-hmm. But
'Cause, like,
would they be intelligent with drastically different values, or would they be on a completely different level of intelligence?
I mean, I'd say that they'd be different with different values. Because, I mean, we survived as a species by sticking together. We were kind to each other, and so we thrived, and now we dominate the planet because we worked together. If there is a species that just dominated their planet through brute force, and, I don't know, in some hypothetical situation, they're not to say that they're not intelligent, but they didn't get to where they were through being kind. They got to where they were through crushing everything that got in their way. The possibility of something like that, or even just like a culture thing. They could be intelligent like us, but the entire species could just be radical xenophobes by nature.
Do you think science can emerge in a tyrannical or like brute force type of civilization?
I would say so, yeah.
How?
I mean, technology doesn't always mean, like complex like computer systems and all that. Technology can be as simple as a stick and a stone to make a spear.
But
I
does
think
a
that-
stick and a stone and a spear get you to space and communicating with other species?
Well, over time, I mean, it could. I mean, it was our nature to just start small, but
But we weren't.
there's no telling how aliens work, even remotely. It could just be, a whole bunch of individuals that are, that they just. I don't want to say they just kill each other because that kills the species, but I don't know. I'm struggling to formulate exactly, but
I'm just trying to make the point that, like, if a civilization is thriving through brute force, things like science don't exist. They aren't developing. Technology isn't developing. Nothing productive in terms of, like, the grand scheme of things is going to happen with a brute force type of, like, thriving in a species, because it's going to be purely, like, planetary. It's not going to be, like, they're not going to have values that we do, like valuing how long Earth is going to live, or like how long we're going to live, like thinking outside of the planet. But so we put resources into things like science, like things that develop outside of our planet. And I don't think that would happen if it's like some single leader or like violent society. Like I'm saying, science comes from intelligence, and not just intelligence, but like cooperation. Like you can't have knowledge without people writing books, and then people have to preserve those books and keep those books. But that doesn't really happen in like radical society where things just die for the better of the whoever thinks that person should die. If that makes sense.
yeah, I see where you're coming from, yeah. Okay, so I guess I could rephrase my question, because my original was flawed, very, from that argument. But, if we had a culture, like, if we had an alien species that got to where we were, and they were almost tribal by nature, like when you picture, like, stereotypical tribal, like heads on sticks and stuff like that, like just very brutal, violence oriented. Like the tribe still sticks together, they still have their own culture, but they crush anything that is outside of it. If that nature, like, not saying that the civilization wouldn't be advanced, but if that nature was inherent in that species, and they got to a point where they could contact us, either communicatively or physically, I can't see any good coming from a violent species contacting us.
It's just when you have a purely violent species, the passing down of knowledge doesn't happen. Like, we've had hundreds and hundreds of years of different people with great minds who reword existing things. It's not like some magic development that happens in like a lab. Like, it's kind of just like you can't have that progression of knowledge to get to like flying and communicating, like not even flying out of the planet or like orbiting around the planet, but like visiting other, like your moon, like we did. Like, you don't get to that point with a purely violent species that is killing people for killing people, rather than looking into people and like, what knowledge do you have? What potential do you have? Like, you don't get systems like school systems or like any education or preservation of knowledge without, like, with violence, like pure violence.
Okay, that does make sense. Yeah. So
That's more or less what I'm saying. Like, I think it's way
Okay.
more likely that if there's intelligent life that has the ability to communicate with us, they are intelligent enough to understand that, like, they're communicating with us for the advance of society, like, not for, villainous reasons or whatever it
Okay.
may be. I think it's just like 100 to 1 odds that they're a purely violent species just based on how slow the progression of science would be
okay,
under
that makes sense.
under that lead.
Definitely, I'm agreeing with you there. Yeah, you do have to have some level of cooperation in order to get technology to a level where you can leave the planet.
You have to have a lot of value put into science. That's what I'm saying. Like, the development of new things.
Okay, that does make sense.
Have either of you guys seen the movie Arrival? I promise this is related.
No, I've not.
I have.
So, for Trip and for those who don't know or haven't seen the movie, it's this movie where this alien species lands on Earth, like, very suddenly, and they communicate so differently from us that we don't understand what they're trying to say.
They're putting
like-
the messages in front of us on a clear screen with black on white contrast, and we still can't decipher, like, what the language means. Like, they're directly communicating with us on our planet, and we still can't figure it out. Like,
Yeah. So, like, I guess why I bring that up is, like, if aliens do communicate with us, like, what's the chance we even, like, understand what their intention is or how they're communicating? Like,
Okay, yeah.
that's how vastly different they could be from us.
That makes sense, yeah. Because, like, I mean, we communicate through sound and through sight. What if they don't even have those senses or abilities? Or what if they, like, there's even the possibility of they see different spectrums.
yeah.
The aliens in that movie see time completely differently. They see time non-linearly. Like, that's how different they are from us. Like, they don't even perceive things happening the same way we do.
We develop senses based on our environment, like, naturally. So,
Okay.
like, even if there's a non-Earth planet where things evolve with different environments, you develop completely different senses. So, you're completely right.
Okay, yeah. So it is so unlikely that aliens do exist and can reach us, but if they do, what do you guys think about that? Like, if they were able to contact us?
Like, physically? Like,
Physically, yeah, like
contact
they
us?
could, like,
pull
arrive
up.
here.
I feel like I already touched on this earlier, but, like, if they have the means of, like, interplanetary travel, like, that, across that amount of distance, like, for reference, the nearest star to us is, like, 3 light years away. Like, if they can travel even that distance, like, that means they are so, like, further, like, technologically advanced than us that, like, if they mean anything other than peace, we don't stand a chance to fight against them.
I think if they're utilizing wormholes, the most likely option, just traveling that far, they're probably pretty chill.
Pretty chill.
Yeah.
Aliens would be pretty chill.
I'm just saying, like, if the higher you go in intelligence, like, the more realistic they are with, like, their goals, like, long term. Because the more intelligent, like, the longer term you think in terms of your species. So it's like, it's probably like a socialist
You're saying
society.
they probably want to reach out to us for some reason?
Yeah, I'm sure they have, like, good intentions and want to try to communicate with us.
I think it's 50-50. I think it's either they genuinely want to learn from us and communicate from us, or, like, they just want the resources from our planet, and we are
I
just
completely
a
agree.
step in the way. Like, for how technologically advanced they are, like, they would look at us the same way we look at, like, ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that in the sense that I don't think there's like a hard like this is how they're gonna be. I think it's like very
It's
drawn
varied.
in the middle. Like exactly. I think it's very like very 50-50, a lot more than you'd think. That they are fully peaceful or like taking our planet, taking taking our dirt or whatever.
I
Whatever
mean,
they want.
Peace. I mean, the more intelligent they are, the more likely it is they've likely figured out peace or like some way to like resolve conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's
Or-
also. We can look at this. We can look at like how I'm perceiving this is that we have different like nations on Earth, and we're all human, so we all more or less like each other as humans. But at the same time, we still have these conflicts over ideology,
Yeah.
and that causes things like wars and all sorts of nasty stuff that humans are prone to do. I'm viewing this on a larger scale where instead of two nations, it's two species in their own places, and they are interacting and they're forming relationships. And if what Sam said earlier is correct, like if the purpose of life is to reproduce and to spread out, how long is it going to be until those relations have the chance of souring? Like, at some point, we're going to want to keep taking. Like, what do relations with aliens look like, even?
It would be a completely different relationship to where I don't think you can definitively say that we're gonna take from them. Because, I mean, if they're coming to our planet, I'm sure they have something to give, whether it's like physical or sentimental. So I don't think we would, at least as quick as you're saying, I don't think we would try,
Yeah.
like, have ill intentions against a new species if they have, the same intentions, same values in mind.
Okay.
I think the more likely option is that if a peaceful civilization reaches us, a peaceful species reaches us, it's for, like, shelter, like something happened, whether it's, like, interplanetal, or what's the word, like...
Planetary?
Yeah, whether it's, like, a planetary thing, like a virus, or, their planet is just beyond salvageable to the point where they're looking for our planet, for refugee. I think it would just be, like, a small percentage of that population. Like, they would be coming to us for rescue is the most likely option. So I think I'm leaning a lot more towards the possibility that, like, the first aliens to contact us probably have peace in mind.
Okay. That does make sense. I can only imagine how people would treat them, though. Because they would be aliens.
That's under the assumption that we just let all of them in, like,
Yeah.
wherever they want to go. I think it would be more, like, nuanced than that. I think,
Well,
realistically,
yeah.
we would, like, section them off, like...
Yeah, I was
Segregation.
Not even, like, because we think they're, like, lesser than us, because we're scared of them.
Like, what if they have like
it'll be a better
viruses
deal.
that we're not prepared
Yeah,
for?
it'll be a better deal for them to even, like, live on our planet at that, like, in the emergency scenario that they need another planet. Like, we might as well give them an area and just, like, try to understand what they even are. And that's under the assumption we can even communicate with them. I feel like there would be, like, almost 100 years of, like, trying to figure out what this even is. Like, I don't think they would just appear in our society. Like,
Yeah.
I think it would be a very gradual thing.
This is literally the plot of The Arrival. Like, they reached out for help,
Yeah.
and we can't even understand them at all.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's the most likely scenario, so it's not really unlikely to say that if they're showing up peacefully, they probably need something. And I think it would probably take 100 years and a lot of effort and money dedicated towards that to even figure out, like, what they're trying to do, what they want. So,
Yeah. It would probably be like an Indian reservation type deal, where we just like section them off and like, I don't know. In the case of aliens, probably just like observe from the outside, because I wouldn't want to go in there. Don't throw me in the alien pit.
it's a really big jump to go straight to Native Americans when I talk about aliens.
Well, why'd you look at me
yeah,
like
and
that when you
refer
said
them
don't
as
throw me in the
Indians.
alien pit?
I mean, like in general, like we would remove them somehow. Like they would be sectioned off. There wouldn't be, like, I mean, well, there's a lot more contact between Native American reservations and modern everything else America today, but I feel like I don't know, we'd like put them in Antarctica or something like that where they're like removed.
I think they would just stay in the vessel that they showed up in, realistically, because I don't know if we'd have
Maybe.
means to contain them beyond studying them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's so much nuance to it too. Now we have to get into like what are what are the physical attributes of the aliens? How do you even contain that? And there's so much it's not even really worth discussing. We'd talk about it forever.
I feel like the line is almost just drawn at, we don't know what they have, like pathogens, bacteria, we don't know any of that, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't let them in the first place. Like, there wouldn't even be a designated area, it would just be chill.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
vice versa for them. Like, what if the pathogens we have kill them? somehow?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes either way. Both sides have to quarantine.
Yeah. Would we just like shoot them out of the sky as they enter or something, or
Would they be entering?
well,
that's
if
just
they
suicide.
want to if they want to physically show up here, then they have to.
Well, they wouldn't just physically show up here with no guarantee of even living, because they have enough knowledge for space travel. They probably understand like pathogens and diseases and how dangerous it would be to just enter the planet. Like,
What choice do they have?
well, they'd be contained. They wouldn't be coming in, or whatever.
Are you saying they'd just like stay in orbit or something?
They would either stay in orbit or just stay within, like I said, a vessel on the planet. Just a completely separate entity.
Okay.
Until they're understood or like able to communicate with us.
Yeah. It's crazy to think how much we could potentially learn from aliens, though, is the thing. Like, if in some sort of crazy, like, in a best case scenario, where we eventually figure out how to communicate in some way, or at least like show things to each other. Like, the scientific advancement from a totally different perspective in the world would be insane, because everything's made of the same stuff. Like, everything is made of the same like atomic building blocks.
Upon that, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think if alien life were to arrive at Earth, do you think that alien life would be carbon-based?
It would have to, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, it's 50-50. It's as likely as unlikely, because we don't know.
That's fair. Well, the only life that we know is carbon-based, so as far as the evidence that we do have is to, if life needs to be carbon-based, the answer is yes so far.
But there's carbon-adjacent things. Like, what if there was silicone-based life, or just something like periodically similar? Elementally similar.
That would be insane.
That
would be so crazy.
That would be 10 times more mind-blowing, because they would be, at this point, beyond our comprehension. Like, we wouldn't even understand really what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So,
And if that's the
sand.
And if that's the truth, then like
sand-based life.
Sand-based life.
sand-based life.
Glass-based life. Rocks.
Dude, if we ever get in a war with a glass-based life, we just throw rocks at them and they're dead.
if they're silicon based, maybe they. I don't know.
I mean,
That was stupid.
are we
Don't-
made of
yeah.
carbon?
Are we-
It's like saying you just. Are we bulletproof vests? Are we immune to bullets?
No.
Ow.
Bullets are made of brass, usually.
Brass-based life.
Brass-based life.
Brass
Living-
monkey.
living-
Brass is
bullets.
brass is like manufactured thing.
Okay.
This is how we tie back into music.
Yeah, this is our tie into music.
This is for the episode. That's
So
it.
brass-based monkeys, do they exist? Are they?
Brass-based monkeys.
We're
According to
carbon-based
Beastie
monkeys.
Boys, yes.
You said that so quick.
What?
We're carbon-based monkeys.
We are.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is such a way to think about it.
I mean, what would the brass-based monkeys look like?
Robots, probably. It's brass.
They look funky.
That's a manufactured metal.
They'd probably just be like orange or something, like orange blood. Like it'd just be so different. Like we wouldn't, we can't even theorize. Like,
Brass
what-
isn't something that we find. It's not naturally occurring. We make brass.
gold-based life.
Gold-based life. Yeah, that makes more sense.
No, it's almost worse.
More than brass
Well, gold is like too rare to be like
on our planet.
in general.
I guess that's fair.
There's the conditions that gold has to be under to form are like.
Maybe this alien species there's like 4 of them. There's
Yeah.
not many of them.
They live for like 700,000 years. They just can't reproduce.
Well, they're made of gold.
How'd they born? How'd they born?
I mean, that goes back into how life is made. How are we made of carbon?
And if
How are they
they're-
made of gold?
Well, it's just based upon carbon. It's not like.
Yeah, but why? We're asking the same question.
I think they'd just be too heavy to be realistically gold based. Like not even as a joke.
That does make
The
sense.
element's too
yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, assuming that it
if they're in a
still
lighter
requires.
atmosphere, maybe.
Well, I mean, assuming
There
it still
is-
takes an Earth-based, like an Earth-adjacent planet, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't occur.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you think about it, like, if life can be based off of other elements, then that completely changes the conditions that life can spawn under. Like, that makes it, like, there's so many more conditions, almost, that life could spawn under.
But there's like in the same way, there's less conditions because the atmosphere would have to be completely different for that life to be like, necessary. So it would have to be like this life can form under this atmosphere, and this life can only form with this atmosphere, and it'd be like a specific makeup of things that almost make it less likely.
Yeah, it does make sense. We have like specific formulas for specific life, and it's not just an overall "this is life."
Yeah,
It's
like maybe
individualized.
it's realistic to assume that carbon-based life is the most likely life, if there is life out there.
if there is, yeah.
Like there might be something that's like adjacent, but even if it's like not the most likely, it still might be 20%, which is very, very likely in the grand scheme of like life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting to think of how similar spacefaring aliens would need to be to us. Because, like, I mean, we know, as far as we know, it takes similar conditions to form life, and the conditions that we're in end up like the conditions that we're in our environment shape us into what we are now, and the way that we're shaped is leading us towards a spacefaring civilization, or at least however close we are to that currently. So, like, those same steps would have to happen.
Do you think
in Alien.
the same steps would have to lead up, no matter what?
I mean,
Like evolved from similar levels of cells.
I would have to say probably. I mean, you can't make something from nothing, and it has to start somewhere. So unless there is a miraculous event where all of the correct atoms happen to be in the exact place at the exact time under the exact conditions to make something that can pass down information, it's got to start small.
I would completely agree. Leading up to humans existing and being able to communicate with each other, what was the greatest step in, like, our evolution from single-cell organisms to, obviously, multicellular complex, intelligent life. Like, what do you think was the biggest step in our evolution?
I would say written language. I feel like out of everything that we've done, written language is the most important because it makes passing down information so easy.
So you're skipping our millions and millions and millions of years of evolution to lead not too soon after like humans already existing and like cavemen and like tribal civilizations forming in caves and stuff.
I mean, even they had written language. It wasn't it wasn't
they
as
were-
complex, but it was
They were
written.
already humans.
They were, yeah.
Can I ask for clarification on your question? When you say, like, what's the most important step we've taken, do you mean life on this planet, or do you mean us specifically?
I mean life on this planet.
Okay.
So that's,
Okay.
do you want me to reword it? Is that?
That
No,
does make more sense.
I do have something to say, though.
Yeah, I mean life on this planet.
Life on this planet. Okay.
I would say, going off that, the most important step is, like, becoming multicellular.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd say that's the biggest step we've taken collectively as life on this planet.
Do you think it's
Like,
the
that's how complex life started.
Do you think it's the most difficult step? Like the most unrealistic step?
I think the most difficult step would probably be sentience. Like, having
Really?
enough... Because, like, our brains are, like, huge and fragile and take a lot of energy. It's a huge... Intelligence is a huge investment that, like, most species aren't willing to take because you're losing so much energy that you could be spending on, like, more useful survival aspects like strength or speed or agility.
Do you think that is a much more difficult step in evolution opposed to something like skin? Like us getting skin instead of scales? That's a serious question.
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I guess it just seems like... I mean, if you go to a cellular level, like, cells have skin. They have a cell wall that wouldn't exist without it.
I'm talking like skin, physical skin, shielding from the environment, not living in water anymore. Not purely living in water.
Ooh.
Because we're water dependent. We live on water. We need water in every aspect. But we...
I don't know, the water police are coming for us.
So, as creatures, we're... It's kind of like a stupid theoretical, but, like, we are fish. Like, we depend on water. We need water.
Why,
Should we
why do
just
they not like
redo
us
that
talking
part?
about that? To answer your question, I don't know. I just said the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, I would argue a lot more that the step from us being in the water, being creatures, life that lives in the water, to us being creatures and life that lives on land was the biggest step. Like us getting that protective layer.
Both are very fair arguments to make.
I say skin is a way bigger jump.
Okay.
I would say that learning to, like, not just communicate, but learning to, like, form in communities was probably our biggest step to where we are now.
But community exists in different ways. What's your
It does.
definition of
Community
I mean-
exists underwater.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Communities existed almost since life, because
yeah.
community has to exist for breeding to exist.
Yeah, I mean community in the way that, like, you have, like, community almost similar to the way that, like wild dogs have community. Like, they live together, they have, like, assigned roles, even a lot of them. Like, they have a space that they take up, and they dominate that space. Like, I think the most important step in our evolution was being able to work together in complex ways. That's what I mean by community.
Is that
Because that was...
evolutionary?
It is, yeah. I would say, because, I mean, taking that step is what led us to dominate not just the spaces that we occupied, but spaces that we didn't.
Who's we?
Humans as a whole. Any individual collection of humans. Any community. Being able to work together in complex ways is what made us different from just animals. That's what...
I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about life.
Like all life?
Life. DNA creatures.
I misunderstood your question. Okay.
You did.
Well then, on that front, I would agree that leaving water and surviving outside of water
I completely agree.
is definitely that.
I completely agree. And I can expand more on why I think that's such a significant point. I really am a firm believer, because how do you form skin as a fish? Like, fish don't have skin. That's not something that is inherently there, like, to develop from. Like, you don't have an inner layer of skin or, like, anything that develops out. It's just, like, scales, right?
Well, they do have skin on the inside. It's just extremely thin.
It's not the same skin. It's not keratin.
It's not the same.
It's not...
You're
It's
in
not
this plane that
keratin.
you've never known anything that's lived outside of, and you just decide to one day go like, oh, I'm gonna go outside of this. Like, I'm gonna go to a fish, like, a completely alien world, the land, and, like,
even
breathe.
it's even more, like, unbelievable than that, because a certain form of, like, fish or species had to develop, like, so there's cells that make up your, like, protective layer, right? But there was, like, bits of keratin that were never, like, they're in the cells, but they were never physically expressed as, like, an outer layer. It was just, like, fragments almost. And there was a mutation that caused those fragments to, basically not even be in the cell anymore, grow as, like, an external, like, barrier almost. And that mutation, like, that is, like, a 1 in 100 million chance that mutation happened, but the fact that mutation happened, and then that creature went on to live a life, reproduce, and make the decision to try to leave the water is, like, incomprehensibly impossible. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's mind-blowing, just the fact that happened. We have skin. Like, it's stuff that you just look at, like, every day. You're like, oh yeah, that's how it is. But it's like, it's because you were raised in that environment. Like, you'll never understand how significant the steps leading up to it were.
Exactly.
And I just think that's a crazy, like, I think that is the most unbelievable step in, like, the evolution of life. Because
I have to agree.
we were just water creatures before that.
You were just water.
Yeah. Like,
Just one.
Yes!
it's not only, like, a drastic change in temperature because of the sun. It's, like, constant, rapidly changing temperature, exposed to the weather. Not, like, we developed tear ducts after skin so we could live above the surface. Like, we can't get water in our eyes without living in water. Like, there's so many, like, steps to it that you don't think of until you really, like, look back and question it.
Yeah, that is
Like,
insane.
Fish can't cry, but we're fish. We were fish.
We were fish.
We swim in water. What's the definition of a fish?
Not us, I'll tell you that much.
Why
Yeah.
not us?
I mean, we lack all of the essentials that fish have,
Like,
like tails.
no,
Not all
required.
Not required.
Not required.
No.
No,
We don't have a way to filter water through our respiratory systems.
not a
all.
requirement.
Not a requirement.
No.
I'd say the
Dolphin or
genus,
fish.
like,
Dolphin
fish.
or fish.
Yeah.
Are whales fish?
No,
Whales are fish.
they're mammals, but they're still fish.
Whales are fish.
I mean, we don't live in water. We don't live in any kind of liquid.
We could swim. We can live in water.
I mean, any mammal could swim. Almost any mammal could swim.
No.
A lot of them can.
Yeah,
Dogs,
they're fish.
Dogs could.
Are dogs fish?
They're fish.
I don't know how to defend this argument.
We're fish.
We're fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're fish that decide to not be fish.
Just rebellious fish.
We're just rebellious fish.
Yeah. We're rebellious fish.
We're rebellious fish.
The comedic check of the walk. How can I get out of this place?
Yeah, well, with that, we got to call the episode there. Yeah, we're rebellious fish. Thank you for
so much.
watching.
Thank you for walking.
Thank you for walking.
Okay. Also, this mic.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Wavetable. I'm your host Trip Ware, and I'm here with our two guests. Nope.
Trip and Sammy.
Nice to meet you. Like, I'm your guest.
Trip and Sammy. Your guests.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Wavetable. I'm your host Trip Ware, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Sam and Riley.
This is Sammy.
This is Riley.
Today we're going to be talking about aliens. Do you guys think aliens are real? What do you guys think?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I said I do think so.
You do think so. Okay, why?
Great start.
I think so. You don't think so?
Why do you
What
think
is
aliens
wrong
are
with
real?
you? So, I think they exist. I'm
We're running with this?
I'm a firm believer.
Yeah, we're running with this.
Thank you for walking.
Thank you. Thank you so much for walking.
Do you want to re-ask the question?
Yeah.
And just run it back from
Yeah,
there?
let's just run it back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for walking.
So fucked up.
Why are we so good at making bloopers?
Our episode's always ending catastrophe.
Starting sentence. I didn't even speak yet. My first prompt was, "What is wrong with you?"
Okay. Okay, we got this.
If we just die laughing at the start of every video, we're just gonna look high as shit at the start.
It was good, y'all. Welcome back to Wavetable. Hello, everybody. My name is
Welcome back to the Wavetable.
Where we get wavy.
Yeah, wavy, bro. We're just entered weed psychosis, like Brad tasted music.
Let's beat our significant others and abuse. No, not beat them. Just abuse.
Look what you've done to
Just
me!
abuse. Okay. Let's start with the intro.
So you don't think that life outside of Earth exists?
I don't, no.
Don't look behind you.
What?
Don't look behind you.
What are you talking about?
He said don't.
Leaving that in.
Do we have any semantics?
Semantics.
Like
Like kissing and stuff?
what?
Semantics.
I'm not understanding.
You're so semantic.
What?
What does that even mean?
You're just speaking words. They have no meaning.
While we take a break to gather our thoughts, let's talk about today's sponsor, Tip.
Don't do it! Should probably sit. You're like floating right now. Welcome back to the Shityard Poop.
Next!
Alright, take it away.
Okay.
You got this. Sorry, I'm not good at anything other than making people laugh. And I don't know how to be serious, bruh.
Anything but the shoot, man.
The shoot yard.
The shoot yard shitcast.
Okay. So it is so unlikely that life is out there.
Sorry.
No.
I had like an air bubble stuck in my lip. I had to get it out.
It was so audible.
It's so unlikely that they can arrive to our planet and, abduct us.
Do you want to
But-
restart?
Okay. Yeah, that does make sense.
There's a satellite up there.
There's a few of those.
Yeah.
There's at least like
4,000.
4,000.
5.
At least 5.
At least. Up there, yeah. Yeah. What time is it?
Time for you to go watch.
It's almost 8:30.
Is that a thing now?
That is such a dumb bit.
No.
Guys, the camera was upside down.